I have a few questions once folks filter in. Sounds good, man. Yeah, this is the 30th roundtable. These things fucking rack up quick. I'm always surprised, like, how much the things I keep count of have advanced. We're like 300 weekend streams deep. It's fucking wild. Bum, 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 bum. Tired? Yeah, a little. My my hormones are still fucked up, but they're getting better. It's just very slow. So I'm kind of just tired all the time. It would have been fine, I think, if it like fixed my sleep schedule. Like of just not having any dopamine made me sleep for 12 hours a day, but it doesn't. I still sleep for 4 hours. It just doesn't work as well. What's up, Gilgamesh? Thanks, Hugh. I did a brief with Chef's Kiss. Appreciate it. It was long. That was a long one. We got some people coming in. JFresh is just in a meeting with me. So I thought he would be here now. Um, yeah. Who wants to get up here and talk shit? I can answer questions. I don't need them. You've gotten fancy with your meeting. Yeah, we made a motion and we had a vote. And then we voted on the motion. So that was cool. We updated the docs like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. There was like they pushed like a big update to the docs. Oh, there he is. I was just bragging about your documentation updates. I was like, JFresh
What's
is.
up, all you cool cats and kittens?
Jesus Christ. Calm down, penis finger Frank.
Doing good. How are you doing? Not Jamie Dimon. Do you remember, like, for an entire week when FinTwit was like just absolutely glazing Jamie Dimon and being like he should run for president?
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
Isn't that every week? I think you can
Yeah, if only
ask.
my students thought I was funny. I make all sorts of jokes and they just get uncomfortable when they're like, "How much errors is okay?" And I respond with, "I don't know. How many people are you okay with dying?" They don't like that.
I would laugh so hard. I would laugh harder if one of them caused a death and then you got to make fun of them for it.
It's true though. You can make anything. You can make it as safe as you could possibly imagine, and someone will find a way to fucking kill themselves with it.
Usually. I wonder if people
Even
are
if the
gonna.
risk is super teeny tiny, you make, 1 billion of them. Someone's going to kill themselves with it.
What are you making 1 billion of? We've got new stuff to show people. Should we start doing new stuff?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dish soap doesn't even shock me. They have to clean the inside of their engine. It's dirty because of all the oil. They got to clean. The easiest way to get oil off of something is dish soap. It makes
Wait,
perfect sense.
you can't hear me? What the fuck? Hold on.
Did you have a Bob stroller? I do. I did. Yeah, we gave it away, I think. It was like a double. Yeah, if Gherk is talking in the Discord, I can't hear him. I feel like I've been here by
Can you hear
myself.
me now?
Yes.
Perfect. I was saying so much stuff. I said, should we start off with new things? We've got new things
Oh.
to spoil. Or
Me
should we
too, I didn't.
or should we wait for Dork?
We could. I do kind of want to hear what the unacceptable uses are for a Bob stroller.
Wait, what? What's a Bob stroller?
It's just a brand.
We're doing Gammastrike things. You can't just come up here if we're going to talk about Gammastrike things. You have to wait till after we do the reveals. It's like a brand of stroller.
Yeah, it's like really expensive.
Are
It's
you
like
not?
if you ever want to get have like a car payment on a stroller, get a Bob.
Are you not supposed to use it as a sex chair?
Probably not. There's no way that thing could hold two adults on it.
Hmm. It's probably just basic things like don't put scalding hot drinks in the cup holder above your child's head.
Yep, that's a pretty basic one.
Is it like a labubu? What the fuck is that? Fuck all of you.
A labubu. My daughter has a labubu.
What's a
It's
labubu?
like a Gen Z Beanie Baby with sass.
That sounds horrific.
Yeah.
Would you get out of my office, you fat fuck? No, don't out. You can't go that way. I gotta get rid of this cat. Hold on.
Don't use it like a skateboard. Well, now I never even contemplated using it like a skateboard, but now I kind of want to try it.
How can you use the Bob stroller?
Yeah.
No Goon Island until Nerd Trifecta. Yeah, where the fuck is Dork, man?
He's hanging out with his boo thing.
Yeah, I know, but he's got work to do. If he
Yeah,
wants
but
to
that's the
remodel
problem.
his kitchen, he better get his ass in here.
Please have work to do. It never fucking ends.
It doesn't. It just increases in scope and size progressively.
Yeah.
They're running strollers?
Yeah, they're just nice strollers. I mean, people use them for running, but they just have really good centers of gravity and good wheels and all that shit.
Lamborghini makes a stroller. It's like $6,000.
Maple, sorry, Dork is taken. He has a fiance. Her name is Gherkin. All right, does anybody want to ask a question before we get into this? Or you want me to just keep rambling on about weird shit?
Well, no, I thought we were gonna do the reveals. Or do we just have to wait for
Well, if Dork doesn't show up, we're just sitting here with our thumb up our ass.
Yeah, I guess we can just do the stuff without him. We don't need him.
We don't need him.
We don't.
Let's cut him.
Is this just a bid to get his bips again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, alright. I'm okay with that.
Just give him to me.
You want to split them?
I can pretend that I know Python too.
Oh, shit. This is recorded.
Sorry. I couldn't resist.
That was rough. No one heard that. Everyone shut your fucking mouths.
We'd actually be screwed if he left. We'd be screwed if anybody left. We're all essential.
Yeah. That's we've created an essential team. It's not very diverse, but it is essential.
No, my wife is concerned. She doesn't like that. I was just saying earlier. My wife really doesn't like that. It's just a bunch of boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does she want to join?
I mean, what would she offer? She's a veterinarian.
Hold on. Is she a spy?
I mean, obviously.
Oh, okay. No, she can't. We can't risk it.
Dork is a DEI hire because his hair goes past his ears.
Dork, hold on. Dork is like 1/8 some Native American thing. Or 1/64th. Whatever qualifies him.
Actually, my hair is longer than Dork's.
Yeah, it is.
I have the longest hair of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Carl doesn't even have hair.
I get a haircut every 2 years, so. There is Latino representation in Gammastrike. Thank you.
Yeah,
And
we do have that.
Not me.
Gilgamesh, I was joking. Dork knows a lot of Python. He's learned a lot.
There used to
women are spies. We had women.
We had women.
And they were all spies, and we stopped having them.
Why couldn't the dudes have been spies, and then we'd have a more diverse corporate makeup?
Yeah, literally, they were like actual. This was like back in the GME days when everybody was trying to like create their own little cadre of little informationistas.
Hold on,
they were all
technically one of them wasn't a spy. Yelia wasn't a spy. She was just like, you guys are infantile and foolish, and I have a job.
Yeah, she just kind of just drifted away. I would take her back.
She wasn't a spy. Pone was definitely a spy, and
He
also
was, yes.
insane. Just
Yeah,
wow.
she was something else.
There was a lot of bipolar disorder going on there.
Did you say the? Did you see Irvin Finance? Hey, it's Pink or who? Pink Cats on Acid is part of the Irvin Finance, like I guess marketing team. I don't really know.
I have no idea. I thought they would have been out of business by now. How are they still funded in any way? They don't make money.
I don't know. I don't really know what they do.
I'm not sure either. They have a platform.
D. Lauer has a featured post on there from 2 months ago with a bunch of broken images on it.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Superstock induced a heavy mental debt to us all. We will carry it for life. The scars.
Yeah.
No, the venture capital hasn't run out yet.
Here we go.
Yeah, no,
6
we're
days.
doing the teasies. Let's start with the teasies. Okay,
Hold
so
on. Irvin's coming out with a chatbot, guys.
oh, fantastic.
They're doing it. Would you be interested in an AI-powered Irvin chatbot? Would you want to ask questions about stocks? What kind of questions would you use it for? What kind of insights would you be looking for?
The answers are money. And if ChatGPT could make people money, everybody would be rich. So clearly it can't do that, right?
They had a grand total of 2 responses from 6 days ago.
You've never been a spy, Jen.
So Irvin is thriving, clearly. Too bad.
We didn't have any guy spies. Well, we kind of did, but he wasn't really a spy.
There were some that were on the fence. We had to jettison them eventually.
Yeah, we had like what's that scene in Game of Thrones where they like kill the other family?
In what? Oh, Game of Thrones?
Yeah, like the Rains or whatever. Red Wedding. Yeah, we had one of those.
Red Wedding.
Yeah, we kind of just like packed all our shit up, opened up a new Discord, and then banned everybody that we didn't like. And then we got to talk. Then we got to talk freely about things.
And now Gammastrike is born. Speaking of Gammastrike,
yes. So we've got a couple new features for you guys. The Greeks by Strike page is going to be merging with the Greeks by Expiry page into one unified tool that will give you both Greeks by Strike and Greeks by Expiry.
I was wondering if you're going to put the dash. That's classy.
I know. And this is going to be going out to all users. And we've got a couple little fixes that we're going to be making over the next couple of days to kind of balance out this top bar because visually it's not working for me. But basically you'll be able to switch between strikes and expiry, and you'll be able to go between your different Greeks and your OI and volume. And look at that. The rewind function is still here. So you'll be able to see the prior days, volume, delta, gamma, all of that. And you know, the Greeks by Strike tool will also be there, and you guys are pretty familiar with that already, I'm sure. But now that's all going to be in one place, and available for you to to use probably over this next week. I guess we'll try to give you guys a heads up in the announcements channel or something when it gets pushed out to prod. But I would say probably a few days. There's just some minor changes that need to be made. And then JFresh, do you want to do the introduction for the next tool that the beta boys are getting?
Finally revealing it.
Yeah, it's time.
Oh, let's do it. Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, so we kind of thought to ourselves, looking at things by just either strikes or just expirations is great. But what if we could look at the entire chain all at once and look at how things are changing over time? And so we looked around at some of the other services to see if there was anything comparable to this idea. And basically, it's such a large set of data to serve up that most people don't do anything close to this. And so we thought, okay, let's just do it the right way. Let's just go all in and make it useful and functional and complete. And so what this page is it shows the change in OI for every strike and expiration. So if you want to go to the top right, Gherk, and just spread that range out. So we show all of it. I don't know why something's go to the day before because something happened. We got to update. SPXW had an empty chain today.
Oh, okay.
So that so we can show this is the change in OI overall for calls and puts. You can click just calls and just puts if you want to do that. And so you can see exactly on the chain where OI has changed. Secretly, I'd like to slowly expand this as we go along to include other things besides just OI. But for right now, this is a lot of data. And so if you also want to zoom in to the original range, if, for example, you're interested in a specific strike, and you notice that, one of these decline, pick a red one, I don't know, or whatever. You can click on the block, and right now it loads a little slow just because this part hasn't been optimized, but this should be speedy when we drop it. And so you can see here how the OI for both calls and puts at that strike and expiration has changed over time. So you can see that, there's some calls have dropped a little bit on this guy. Is checking for change between historical last number of days a thing? It technically could be. We're limited. Right now we're doing 1 day. So right now it's looking, for example, today versus yesterday, and then you can go back a day, and then it shows you the change from the day 2 days ago to yesterday. That's what we've got stored right now, and then we have the historical OI for everything that's in the original Zoom. So we don't have the historical OI for every box, like the way out options that are like 40% out of the money, but and that's just for cash size considerations for now. But yeah, every stock in our database has this feature built in now. So
Hi, guys.
what's up, man? You just missed the big release.
I know, right? I was eating dinner.
Yeah, we said it couldn't be done, and we did it.
Yeah. Someone asked, how do I use it to make money? Feel like that's not our job.
All they want is more.
I know, right?
What'd I miss? Do you need me to do something?
Look pretty.
Nobody
Anyway.
likes our features. Let's just not release them.
Keep them for ourselves?
Yes.
That's what I said from the
Yeah.
beginning.
Well, now we're saying it, so it's much more valid.
One person wants expiry to be on the x-axis.
Hold
and
on,
can't
hold
handle
on. Gorilla Mode said cock.
it. He did.
He's clearly into it.
Is Gorilla Mode just a bot that says cock every day?
I have no idea.
I think so.
No, he said other things once.
Did he say other things? I don't
The
believe you.
circle on the top slider indicates the value of the bar that or of the box that the cursor is in. So if you move the cursor,
Move the mouse
around,
around, and you'll see kind of bounces around. And also another thing you can do, Gherk, to show them something else fun is put your mouse on the color bar on the top, like somewhere around the dark, like around the black area, and check that out. It highlights things in those ranges.
Yeah, so you can see where the
yeah.
greater changes in OI were.
Yeah, you got like basically built-in filtering there.
Or where OI fell off the hardest.
You got calls, puts, and net too, so that's also cool. If OI is spiking Gorilla Mode, that means that interest is increasing, and if OI is declining, that means interest is decreasing, where interest is the number of contracts out against the market makers.
Brilliant.
That's what I'm here for, all right? The hard-hitting questions.
Let me pull up some more tickers just to show how fast it loads.
Yeah, pop up Apple. The best stock in the universe. The treasury market of the options market. What about open interest? If open interest goes up, there are more contracts that are opened against with the market maker as the counterparty. And if open interest goes down, there are less contracts that are open against the market maker as a counterparty. It's literally open interest. It's the thing. It's the thing. I don't know what you want from me here.
Are you explaining open interest in terms of open interest?
That's exactly correct, yes.
Have you tried discussing it as being instead being just open interest?
No, I haven't tried that yet, but if you want to take over and try that out, I mean, I don't know how else to explain what open interest is.
It's interest.
No, you didn't miss anything.
That's open.
Yeah. So when it's but to I think that is a decent question. What does it mean if OI is going up or going down? It just means that contract is becoming less or more popular. Don't overthink it. Or some participant has more or less of a position in it. I don't know. There's a million ways to skin that cat. I don't know. Or pluck that chicken. I'm sorry, Jay Fresh. I'm trying to be sensitive to your feline sensibilities.
Keep fucking that chicken.
Yep.
Just for those of you with bad headphones, he said pluck with a P, not fuck.
Takes a tender
we
man.
We here at Gammastrike do not support the fucking of chickens.
It takes a tough man to deliver such a tender forecast. Keep fucking that chicken.
Tom Duck isn't in the chat.
It's like one of my favorite YouTube memes.
Halo has something weird going on with it. There's no way to tell. Options. Oh wait. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, I see what happened, Jay Fresh. About the
SPXW
data.
was empty. You need to run it again.
Yeah, I'll bother the relevant parties about that.
Yeah. Fucking data providers letting us down.
I wonder if it's the CBOE letting our data providers down.
It could be.
Hmm. Someone added an awful lot of these 6625s for today.
Yeah, this is on our non-prod environment, so it's a day behind right now.
Hmm.
No, it's not. It's up to date now.
What?
Do I just have to refresh
Yeah,
it?
dude. Yeah, non-prod is fast as fuck, boy. I don't know about the OI has a weird date thing going on.
Oh yeah,
Everything
it's
else
got
is
a
up to
weird
date.
date, yeah. Well, cool.
It's still in
So-
beta, folks.
So somebody did truly today open like 40,000 calls on Apple for Jan 16th. No,
DFE?
50,000. Total change 37,949.
Is that Nuke's dad?
270 strike on Apple calls.
Hmm.
There were like 10,000 on the chain before, and they just like raw dogged. It's crazy.
Hmm. Someone's selling that 235.
Yeah, massive load on that. When does the tool update the OI? End of day and in the morning.
It updates
So
when
with
everything else updates, yeah.
Yeah, with when our OI updates in the evening and the morning.
Yep. There's a weird date thing going on with it, so it says 8/13, but I have my suspicions that it's not 8/13.
Sure.
Hmm. I'm really
Going on
curious how the
daily.
competition, if there could be any, is going to respond when this goes public. I assume they'll try to just copy us, but poorly.
Yeah, I think they're going to sit there and freak
Yeah.
out for a week before they get started on that.
And we can release like at least one more tool during that time period, so.
We could release a lot of tools. We
Yeah,
could release
we've
me.
got at least 12 tools.
Yeah, we got to save the best for last, though. That's why we're not releasing Gherk for a while.
Ew. Don't simp. It's gross.
I just called him the biggest tool.
Oh. Well, that's okay.
JFresh, don't
You've been
worry.
learning Squeal, Gen?
I have all your best messages saved in a file.
Gen, I'm gonna send you the best Squeal query there is. This is the only one you need to know.
You're loading the hell up on the 185 strike at pretty much all expiries for NVIDIA.
Well, of course they are. It's NVIDIA. NVIDIA, whatever you want to call it.
Just going to town.
Oh yeah, look at this shit. Well, dude, there's like some fat vertical spread just everywhere. That's crazy. Gherk, pop open NVIDIA. This one's a fun one. Look at that.
That looks healthy to me. That's totally not ETS
see, is
just
that-
selling every strike.
Okay, switch to calls. And then switch to puts. It's even better, right?
Hmm.
Look at that. You see, guys, this tool's pretty cool. You could use it for stuff. And you could see on the far right on the net, you could see that that's all the degenerates that are busy swing trading NVIDIA.
Some of these positions are wild. Yep.
Yeah, this is all OI. Change in OI from the previous day.
Yeah. Oh, Willie over here with drop table. Wow. He lives dangerously.
Gilgamesh, deeply understanding exactly how much data we're showing here. Yes, it's a lot.
You know, Gilgamesh, we spent a good amount of time discussing how we wanted to deliver this to you guys without it being an absolutely unbearable experience.
I don't know if you know this, but we have the entire SPX chain.
Yeah, it was about a 2-hour discussion about how, you know what, like, and once again, this is our resident autist. Well, our biggest resident
See how
autist.
snappy it is?
Yeah, Nuke really killed it. So the thing is we only do a small range for the historical OI, so you can't like look at the 1,000 call on SPX or something like that. But for everything that's close to spot that you would care about, you can look at it.
What were you saying?
Oh, just like cause yeah, so we don't blow up everything. You can't look at the historical OI at the $1,000 strike.
Hmm.
So, and that's because this is a lot of data. Even without the historical OI, it's a lot of data, but we're already giving you that lot of data. Now we're giving it to you with a different flavor. And then a little bit extra too. This is some new data too. Just around spot. And it's actually not even new data, it's just old data, but you're getting it back in a different way. I love watching Gherk's screen as he does this because like the re-rendering of the video feed interlaces a whole bunch and it looks really trippy.
Do we want to show him one more thing? We kind of already showed him in the past, but we're closer now.
What are we showing? What are you thinking?
Historical data?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've gotten
keep going. Keep zooming out. Look at that.
we've gotten our historical data moved from dev to non-prod successfully, so we're testing that there, and then we will get that moved over to prod.
Yeah.
And so
You
you
guys
will
want to see
be able
Volmageddon?
to. Yeah,
The COVID crash?
it's all there.
The taper tantrum?
So most things are back to 2017. Some are back to 2016. Few of them, so few of the big ones are back to 2016. But the data starts to get spotty then, like between 2012, 2016, the market wasn't super big. It was a lot smaller. And then before 2012, it was all like floor trading that wasn't even really like digitized in a centralized system. So
It was like
Yeah.
OTC, wasn't it?
The data
but yeah,
tracking
but this,
falls off pretty hard.
yeah, but this covers a pretty wide range of options history. Yeah.
It's 10 years, roughly, a little under 10 years. So this should give you a good idea of like any sort of baselines you're trying to establish with it. And that was the
Yeah.
whole idea. JFresh did bring that up, and I thought it was the best argument for this was that this amount of historical data does give us a very solid baseline to work with.
Yeah, because eventually we're gonna start building you guys back testing tools and things. So we got to have the data
Historical
to do it.
analysis. Yeah. Well, I mean, even just historical analysis and stuff. I would like to see at least one bell curve on this site that isn't gamma.
Oh, I got
Yeah,
bell curves.
Gilgamesh,
You
if you
want
want to
bell
talk
curves?
about I want bell curves. Gilgamesh, you have no idea. The backfill on this. JFresh is the one who did the Lord's work on this. Okay, he spent, I think it was, what was it, a month, just
At least.
just burning his computer on this shit. Yeah,
It took a long time, but I got it.
yeah. Get out of here with your Pine script, Wolfie. You're no Pine
Um,
script.
Why
Yeah,
would
we're
we
also
ever add
make
that
sure that
dog
we have,
shit coding language to our platform?
Yeah, PineScript is awful. R
We're
is
gonna
better.
have pickle script.
we also made sure
Oh.
that we have all S&P 500 stocks in there and Nasdaq 100. And I think at some point we'll start working on R2K, but we might blow our brains out before then. We need to take a break from backfilling. It was quite an endeavor. It just takes a long time.
It does. But yeah, and you know, and this is everyone jokes about V3, but V3 is what made this possible. So without that, this
We
would have
love you,
taken 4 times as long.
We love you, Dork. Don't
You
watch
know-
the beginning of the stream.
It's
Oh God. What the fuck?
Dork, you know,
guys
it's gonna
talking shit 'cause
feel
I made
better
pork
if you let
chops?
someone else pat you on the back.
Oh, well, I'm not. That doesn't. Is that a thing? Does that happen?
V3 worked great.
Yeah.
He just like, here, download this, install the packages, and hit run. And I just did that like a monkey for 8 weeks.
Fun times.
With enough tickers, even a monkey could write Shakespeare. Something.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're moving along. We're doing stuff right. A lot of the newest developments have been a lot of back end things, so it's not crazy flashy and exciting, but we are still also working on real time data awesomeness for you guys too. So
Which you guys have been seeing on stream every day for a few days now.
yeah.
Well, Dork
It's
has
fucking
me
cool.
live test the new RTD, and then we'll explain it to you guys so you'll know what you're actually looking at.
Hopefully it doesn't need too much explaining since we've already explained, because a lot of it is stuff you've already seen, and then there's a couple other things that are things that you've already seen on your brokerages and stuff, like as numbers, but we're giving it to you as historical charts. So, well, historical for the day.
Mustard is not real. I wish you guys would stop with that. It's
You know how many times I've been approached about mustard and trying to make it better, and I'm just like, I don't know, I don't even know what the fuck it is.
me and Nuke made it, and we don't know what it is.
It's well, yeah, it's because it is just it's nonsense tea leaves, right? Like the stuff I made way back in the day, like ketchup, mustard, relish.
Those weren't nonsense at all.
They weren't. They were borderline nonsense, though. Jfresh looks at them and he thinks, to him, it looks like the scribbles on the wall in a prison of a dude with schizophrenia.
Yeah, but when the tips touch, GME runs. So
Or Revlon.
also Revlon.
Yeah, that one took a lot of. It was just overfitting the game.
All hail the mustard. The mustard is just a floating point line that prints on the SPX chart in our dev environment. It was supposed to be an actual indicator, but we don't know what it did. Like when we built it, we forgot.
It's not. Yeah, there's a better mustard line, and we can get into it. But if we end up making the better mustard line, if it is what I think it is, we're not going to give it to you guys.
No, it's mine.
Unless we really, really feel like it.
Dork's gonna trade his cheese quesadilla money.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did get my stipend.
Once
you just shipped me a quesadilla this time?
Dork's made $20 million trading it, then we'll release it to the public.
And by release it to the public, you mean
Sell it to institutions.
that's correct. I'm glad you and I are on the same track there with what we're going to do with it.
Yeah.
Publicly, by give it to the public, you mean give it to the publicly traded company for a large sum of money.
Can you please add a value metric to show how much tail wags the dog? I don't know, something like dex to volume to daily trade volume, or however you think this is best.
That's the leverage curve on macro.
Yeah.
Like plain and simple.
What's the question? Sorry.
He wants to know if we could have a way to measure the length of the tail.
I think they mean like
for each individual
stock. like delta by market cap or something? Like the ranking thing we've discussed 5,000 times. We could probably do
Are
that
we
pretty
talking
quick.
about?
It's
I mean,
just
that would
like
be just the leverage ratio that we have. I mean,
X
yeah, but
volume.
you'd have to do it for individual stocks and then weight them or rank them.
we
at
wouldn't have to
least.
weight them really. I mean,
Oh, I see. I see what he's asking. He's asking underlying volume versus stock or options delta traded.
Delta traded relative to overall volume. That would be a quick thing to cobble up. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
Can't do
it's
it for
similar.
indexes,
It's
but
similar in thought to. So like at the bottom when we have the delta to market cap, that's a similar idea, but yours is more of a how much that day was traded versus how much delta is like supporting the market cap value of the stock, but it's kind of the same idea. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. We at some point we're gonna come back to macro and add some things to it. It's one of those ones that we have a lot of ideas for, just not a ton of bandwidth. And as we start to clean up some of these other features, we'll revisit some of those. I
Speaking
have
of
some other cool ideas as well.
options macro, Gorilla Mode would like to know, can you show me how to read the options macro? I don't understand how to read all the charts in there. It seems like the spotlight is fixed. How does one
Yes.
see no? See no is OI contract value, OI delta value, OI leverage is high, important, and for moneyiness. Macro, the same. I heard Gherk uses this in Greek by Strike every Sunday to get a feel for what the market will do for the upcoming week.
Yeah, so I think the first thing, it sounds like you want to make sure that you can really internalize and understand what moneyness is.
What have I done?
So the reason that we have to display it, oh God,
Look at
the
that.
reason we have to display it by
a ton of
moneyness
dates.
is because if you want to combine the effect of all the different stocks, and my thinking originally was, it appeared to me at the time that a lot of trading strategies involved both the index, SPX, and SPY, and QQQ, and also like the Magnificent Seven, Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, etc. And I kind of wanted to think, okay, well, these few stocks are so large they can also move the entire market. And so I kind of wanted like a single aggregate look at how the options of all of those different stocks and indices are sort of positioned relative to the current value. Now, the obvious issue there is, well, everything has different prices, right? So how do you condense them to a single chart? You have to put them on a moneyness chart, which basically tells you how far away from spot for every stock you are, right? So spot will always be 1 on the moneyness, right? It's just strike divided by spot, right? So moneyness of 0.9, we're pretty close to the peak of the sold puts, where the put leverage is highest, tells you that most of the puts on the market are about 10% below us, right? 10 to 5% below us. And that's for all stocks on the market. And then
So
at
you
the
say
same
strike,
time,
but sorry, you say strike, but it's just any old price, really. Just any price that isn't spot or spot, right? Has a moneyness that is that price divided by spot.
yeah. I'm just referring to the strike of the option. So it's
Yeah.
strike divided by spot. Yeah. Some people do spot divided by strike, which can be confusing. So there are 2 ways to define moneyness. You have to make sure that you are calibrated to the right one, and it depends on the use case. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to plot it one way or the other. Basically what it's telling you, Gorilla Mode, is that if most of the sold puts are sitting 5% below us, 5 to 10% below us, then a move that's 5 to 10% or more will put all of those contracts underwater, which happened during the early days of the taco trade before it fully reversed and went gangbusters. And then once that reversed, because they're all underwater, once it started going the other way, it just started just catapulting it upwards. So price likes to sit between those two peaks, because that's kind of the edge of people's betting on the market, and it's kind of where things get real dicey if it goes wrong. So everyone's going to move to kind of correct it to prevent that from happening.
Everyone meaning gigantic participants generally, right?
Yeah. Taco stands for Trump always chickens out. Gilgamesh.
Yeah, also check out the macro data too. Yeah, Gherk, zoom out on that. Double click the bottom, double click the x-axis, and then double click the y-axis.
Just double click in the box.
X first, then Y. Now double click the y-axis. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, we went back to 2016 on that.
Boom.
Where are the raised hands? That's a good question.
That's actually the best question of the night so far.
I think it's Nitu's time to get up here now.
Either him or Willie. Is Willie in here?
Hold on, Gorilla Mode. I'm not sure. On the call input bars, why does it always look like there are more puts than calls? I'm not seeing what you're seeing.
What are you talking about? Hey, Brad. Wolfie's right. Wolfie, I almost killed my starter, but I brought it back. I didn't feed it for 3 days, and it smelled like kombucha. Like sour and alcohol. Like it smelled like pure lactobacillus if I was to give it a name.
Oh, taller.
Yeah.
Okay, those are stacked.
Yeah, it's stacked. Yeah.
So it doesn't mean more than. You have to think. So it's stacked on top of the calls. Sorry, that is a great point. I didn't even think about that.
The tooltip tells you the numbers on them though.
Yeah, if you hold the cursor over it and look at the tooltip, it'll tell you what the values are for both. So right now it's like all calls.
Should probably just put the puts in front of the calls.
Is tomorrow OPEX? Tomorrow's OPEX.
Yeah.
We have $600 billion of calls falling off the chain. Neato.
Yeah, that's not a ton. I mean, it's a good bid, but it's not.
It's neat. It's neat. It's cool. Yeah, Willie, I forgot to put it in the fridge, and then I looked over on the counter one day, and I was like, "Is that my starter?" And it was just soup, and I was sad. Tons of money to plug right back into dispersion. I mean, we'll see.
Right, make them raise their hands.
Yeah, raise your hand, you goddamn sons of bitches.
Man, options have grown to be such a substantial part of the market in the last like 3 years.
Since
That's
2020.
insane.
Like
Just look at
if
that.
you look at actually
the
go to the OI
fuck?
contract value and look at that from 2020. That one is startling. Look at that from 2020. That's insane.
Yeah. It's almost 10x.
Yeah.
In terms of perception, how many billions is significant enough to be like, oh shit? Well, as you can see down at the bottom, so I will say we cut off things like SPX because it's so large. It's a massive amount, But if you just look at ETFs and individual stocks, you can see SPY, QQQ, Nvidia. Those are the biggest ones. Those are usually between $100 and $200 billion. and then it kind of tapers off quickly from there. But a large stock will be on the order of 20 to 50 billion, and then a lot of stocks will have, a few billion to like 10 billion, and then under that you start to get into shit tickers.
Well, that's also, just so you know, that's also basic. Like the total of those stacked bars is the DEX line. So you could just look at the DEX of a stock if you would like to know where it sits on this.
Yeah, if you go to the Greeks page, you can look at the DEX on that.
SPX would
Yep.
just be like 20 times bigger than everything else.
SPXW is insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go look at it real quick.
There's
Let me go to
There's like actually trillions of dollars on the SPX.
right now.
Delta.
SPXW is 516 billion,
And what's the
and then
AM contract?
and then SPX AM
SPX is 3 trillion. 3.4.
3.4 trillion right now. Actually, pretty close to an all-time high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last one was June. It was at 3.6.
SPX has like a ton of Delta falling off tomorrow too, I think. It's got
Look at you
200
using the
and-
new tools. You
200
shill.
287 billion in call delta coming off.
Yeah, it's not that much.
It's really not for
Yeah, most of it's on the quarterly in September.
yeah, 663
Well,
billion.
if you put the zeros after it like that, like if you look at the number in the tooltip, it looks a lot bigger. Like when you just say billion like that, it's like,
Can we not have like the fraction of a penny on it? It seems kind of silly for $200 billion.
dude, it's
love
all
it.
about precision, bro.
Yeah.
Gross. What effect does that have when it falls off? Well, usually, I mean, assuming that everything is already taken for granted and nobody's like hugging their knees, hoping that price moves in their favor to prevent collapse, usually not much happens, right? So all the trades settle, and now you have all that freed up capital to be redeployed in some way. So the question really, most people think about like what happens when everything falls off, like is it going to move price? But all the hedging and everything kind of hedges itself perfectly at the expiry to allow it to just disappear. The real question is what do all the participants do with all that freed up capital now that's not tied up in these contracts? Do they double down on the existing trend, or do they do something different? So a big example of that, if you go back to the macro page, since that's kind of where we're talking about, and then Nietzsche, I'll let you talk. So if you go historical, if you just double click on the top right chart, the leverage chart, you can actually tell that right after 2024, the end of 2024, the leverage dropped off pretty hard on sold puts. So people were kind of pulling back on the sold put strategy. And that was the time when we had a lot of weakness in the S&P, and things just kind of like dragged down because people just weren't re-levering into that sold put position, which was kind of just dragging everything down. Now obviously there's a couple things. I mean, this rally is mostly by the dippers and calls, and a lot of sold puts as well, but it is the buy the dippers, I think, that are really driving this right now. But yeah, so you can look at those changes. So you think, okay, capital freed up at the end of the year, and then it didn't redeploy in the same way, which caused a substantial change to the longer term trend. So those are the kinds of things you have to think about: is what are people going to do once all of that is free?
Yep.
What is beta spare?
I think he's making a joke.
I get it.
We've both,
It's a
me and you have
oh
both
god.
spoken to James Rowland, and we know for a fact that he couldn't ever build anything.
I get what you're doing. It's a bowling joke. That's brilliant.
That is brilliant. I was about to say, well done, sir.
I hate bowling.
Bowling hates you. You know what, Girk? I bet it's because you can't get enough spin on the ball, so you just look weak.
No, it's just I don't want to go in any place where people
Speaking
are
of
bowling.
things we hate, me too. Welcome. What question you have? Sorry.
No, you're so good. You're such a good orator, Jay Fresh. I was just gonna let you go and do your thing.
Oh God, is this
I
a
got a
Trump
couple
staff
questions.
meeting? What are we doing?
Huh? Oh, not gonna ramble like that. I can't remember if this was answered on an earlier roundtable or not, but why do you guys combine the SPX and the SPXW chains? Or not combine? Why don't you combine them? Sorry, why do you have them split apart?
They're really used. I mean, Gherkin can chime if he wants to, but they're really used for different things, and then sometimes they're used complementarily.
What are you talking about?
I mean,
Why we
complementary?
don't combine SPX and SPXW chains?
I've been
do.
trying to get
We
you
just
guys
don't
to
show
do
it.
that forever, and
We
it
have
doesn't like the
it. It
ticker doesn't
exists.
work.
Yeah,
Well,
we
the
actually
yeah.
do have it combined as well, but we like to look at it uncombined just because it gives us a more granular view to the complementary strategies that are
Also,
that
SPX
are
is
used on this. But
really not super relevant until you get closer to its expiration and like the
Yeah.
charm starts to kick in.
But we do have a combined version of it. It's $ SPX, and the $ is fucking shit up, and so we just temporarily
Yeah,
deprecated it.
this is what it
because-
looks like.
Trash. It's there. I swear it's there, guys. I swear I'm doing it. I watch it be done. All right. I know it's there.
$. It's.
I swear I didn't mean to, bring up such a
Dork,
source. But
Dork is prompt injecting our own website
Yes, that's exactly right.
with $.
I hope he's using protection.
He's not. You know he's
Using
not.
I'm
perplexity.
dogging it. Oh, gross.
Yeah, we have
You
it.
said
We have it
prompt.
combined. We have the same thing going. We're trying to get that worked up for IndieX and Rut.
Yeah.
We were recently trying to figure out how to compensate JFresh in some small way for all of the effort that he's put into
Don't you dare.
Gammastrike over the last 4 years, and so we picked him up a 5-year subscription to Claude AI.
Not even Opus. This is a bachelor degree level AI.
Yeah, I can't.
So-
can't
so-
do any. Unfortunately, I can't do any PhD level work. I have to pay extra. For
No.
that.
It only,
So it's equivalent.
only
It's
does
equivalent to you,
bachelor
Dork. Is
level.
that what you're saying?
Yes. No, JFresh wants to give me a predatory loan at 36% APR.
It's not predatory. It's within the usury standards of your state.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's not predatory. My bad. Just a high interest bearing loan because I'm a high risk borrower. Right?
Once
And
you
he's
let
providing
me,
a service.
let me know once you have 50% of your house paid off, and I'll give you whatever loan you want.
Yeah, open up a HELOC at 36% APR. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I wanted to go back to last week, the question that SCD asked on my behalf. Just the because it's as you saw on the vibe coding or not vibe coding, vibe trading
The vibe trading
Pigeonhole
channel.
channel.
The poors
Yeah,
don't know that
yeah.
place exists. It's a
Well,
pigeon.
it's a place.
It's a Pigeonwell exclusive.
It's like the 66 Club in Disneyland.
Yeah. Except I'm pretty sure everyone's allowed in there as long as you want to buy watered down drinks for $18.
I don't know. I've never been, or nor have I tried to go. Anyways, but so I've got a good feel for that's Gamma Max is at whatever strike on the SPX chain, selling call or call spreads above that strike about 30 days out, has a high success rate. But then pairing that with something similar for the put selling side. That so what it seemed like, Girk, is what you're saying is you wait for a test and a bounce off of gamma neutral, and when you're hanging out around that zone,
Yeah.
is that's what
Generally,
kind of.
so it really depends on what's dragged the market back to gamma neutral, but yeah. Also, just selling like 45-day puts at delta neutral in the money if you lose delta neutral on the SPX has been rewarding.
So let me, if delta neutral is lost on the SPX, 45 day in the money.
Yeah, I mean
What's that
you
delta
could also
neutral?
just buy calls at delta neutral.
Yeah.
Depending on the news, I have to assume, right?
Yeah. Depending.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no. No, I
So
kind of just assume mean reversion to delta neutral.
okay.
Like, I mean, so far you can look at it, but I don't think any loss of delta neutral on SPX has ever persisted for 45 days. That's one. The April thing
So,
was like from the 4th to the 23rd. That was pretty bad. October of 23 was from the 17th to the 2nd. 22nd was from September 22nd to October 9. So none of these are more than 45 days. This is probably the worst one. This was like, I guess there. So September 13 through October 28, but still not 45 days. Oh, maybe this was pretty bad. April 22 through July of 22. Like that was probably the most bearish part of 2022, at least from like a positioning
Well, the thing is
perspective.
DN moved down, right? Like,
Yeah. Although, given the news that was going on at that time, I absolutely would not have sold that.
yeah, that's what I'm like. It's all if sentiment in the market truly sours, like you see the taper tantrum back there too. Like, if it sours like that, it's a little different. But for the most part, if it's just humdrum everyday shit, then I mean, yeah.
COVID crash was like a
so
month.
yeah, I mean, no, I see what you're saying, Garg. It takes something like an '08 crisis or something to
Yeah, you need like a
mess with
pretty
that.
broad. Yeah. But yeah, I
So is,
usually sell tests of gamma neutral. I sold the test of gamma neutral the other day when we got it. Like, was it 2 weeks? I guess it's about 2 weeks ago now. When we got
yeah, that
the
was
2%
Liberation
drop.
2.0, right?
Yeah.
I should have done that. I was just more focused on going on vacation.
But yeah, I also sell tests of gamma max. If we get them, they're rare. They're really pretty rare on SPX.
On SPX. I mean, they're rare on SPXW too. Less rare,
Yeah.
but
A little less, yeah, but
is there a way to use Gammastrike and so while we're up relatively near the gamma maxes, is there something on Gammastrike to be looking at to as I'm selling these out of the money above gamma max call spreads, is there something complementary to also be selling puts as we continue to just grind higher?
no, selling puts up here is fucking terrible.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
that's a great answer. Thanks.
Yeah, that's bad.
No, that's
Yeah, generally when you test gamma max, that's when puts like sold put positions deleverage really hard because they've hit max profitability.
Mm.
And holding them open is riskier. Like keeping them open until expiry becomes riskier than just closing them.
got it. No, that's super helpful. I was kind of, I was
I
kind of
guess
feeling like
something I would pay attention to is like make sure that like delta neutral and gamma neutral don't move down sharply, because that could indicate that like the market's going to push up back into gamma max, especially when and if gamma max rises above your strike level.
got it. Yeah. What was it at say, like 55.25, something like that?
But
It's probably changed. Probably changed now.
yeah,
Oh, what it shows me.
went up today. Went up to 65.57, which is technically
This is,
bearish.
yeah. No, I sold the 50.75 up today. So okay,
Or does Vega
that's all I got.
neutral spike down? Oh, because there's more Vega, because volatility goes up. So in periods where you have really low volatility, like here, Vega neutral just kind of disappears out into nowhere. And then like higher volatility will bring Vega neutral down, because more of the Vega is being traded closer to spot. Is that all you got? You can't think of a fresh one? What else? Come on.
Who, me or just the whole crowd?
You're up here. No one else
Anybody
is raising
is
their
anybody
hand.
gonna
Oh, I
raise
can-
their like? What's no one wants to come up here and talk words. It's so sad. Like this is such a personal like interperson experience where we get to communicate and share ideas in real time, and
Why
yet all
are
you guys want to sit here and
You
spew
sound like
text
a
at us.
vegan dork.
God.
Dude, you
Dork, you're
you know my
eloquent as
political
fuck.
stance, okay? So like
Veganism?
Veganism?
that's not a political stance. Oh, okay, maybe
Yeah,
it
it
is.
is. Yeah, it is.
It absolutely is.
Oh, thank fuck, we got
All right.
somebody up here.
Mopa's gonna take my spot.
Right, later.
How about it, Mopa?
Later, Nishi.
All right. All right. Thanks, Need to. Hey guys, how's it going?
What's up?
What's up, man?
What's up? So I do have one question I just thought of based on some stuff I saw this week. Like, is there any way to track the live IV of SPX during the overnight session or to sort of approximate it at all?
Sure.
Live IV, is that what you said?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, as long as options are trading.
As long as
We
they're getting
actually are
quoted.
tracking it in the pre-market. We just haven't really implemented it yet because we don't have a very good source for spot outside of market.
That's really it.
But once we figure that out, we'll have pre-market and post-market.
All through the 24/7 market.
Our whole idea is we want to make sure you guys can be degenerate when you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's 3 a.m. and you're taking a midnight dump, you know, perfect time to degen, right? I mean, we're with you.
Yeah, if options are trading, we're taking in the data. It's just spot that's the challenge for indices.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was kind
Yeah.
of wondering because I mean, I noticed that the live Greek spy strikes do update in the pre-market, and the reason I'm wondering is I saw this twice this week. So like on days where we have like big data drops at 8:30, you know, I'm like watching my options in IBKR, and it seems like when like right after 8:30 when the data drops there's just such a wide like variation in the pricing. Like I saw like a winning leg go up on a straddle go up like 25%, but then the losing leg is down like I don't know 30 40 even 45%, and you don't really it's not really profitable at all. And I'm just curious if having a live IV at some point would help in trying to figure out an exit for a straddle in the pre-market.
I mean, the issue you have with the legs on straddles in the pre-market, and this can be a big problem. It's almost better to wait out the data sometimes, because the spreads can get so blown out, especially if you're like 3 DT or something like that. Like the loss you're seeing is not necessarily because there's actually a bid on your spread. It's just because like no one's fucking buying that contract and the spread's just getting wider and wider and wider. There's not a lot of people like making the market for Globex hours. Most of it's just like participant based, and so you know having like a 3 DTE straddle on a big move, a lot of the times like I'll get a big move off data and I'll like close a leg of the straddle on it because you can on IBKR, and then like not only will the leg I closed be worth more the equivalent spot price at open, but like the losing leg will also just be worth more because it's just more liquid. So
Well,
I mean,
that's
like I don't really know if like Ivy. I'm just saying like I don't really know if Ivy is like like really very valuable in that in that pre-market period, because it's just gonna get blown out as those bid asks widen.
yeah, that's a really good chunk of info. I guess I never thought of it that way. I just assumed there's always some sort of connection between SPX options and ES. And if like there's a big move on ES, somehow that's being factored into whatever the market maker
It's
thinks.
being factored into ES trading at those hours. Like ES is vastly more liquid than SPX is. Like, and so the dealers, whatever their exposure is, whatever issues they're having, they're not going to turn to Globex and try to trade options with wild spreads. They're just gonna manage their delta exposure on the futures contract on MES or ES.
So then for trading SPX, when would you want to use the live Greeks by strikes data in the pre-market, or would you just not want to at all? Is it just
I
better
mean,
to just
I generally wouldn't want to because I mean, let us like build it first, and then I could definitively tell you. But I can say with some certainty that I probably would not want to use that data, most of that data in the pre-market, because a lot of the pricing there is tied implicitly to implied volatility, and so if you're getting just IV blowing up everywhere, then the data just becomes unreliable. Not that we're calculating it incorrectly. It's just that the market is so drastically illiquid that the values you're getting aren't going to mean anything.
Interesting, because I guess I've been trying to do something that makes no sense. I've been trying to watch the live Greeks by strike between like 8:30, 8:45, and 9:30, just kind of trying to see, okay, I see them changing. Does that help me kind of understand where the action is going to be when the market bell hits? But I
I
guess it's
mean, I
just a lot
guess
of
you're seeing some trades coming through, but like if you're trying to determine like where we're going to open and stuff like that, like ES is just far better.
Okay, and there are times like what you'll say on stream, if there's like a big move or something that you close one of the legs of your straddle in the pre-market. How are you deciding to do that with the Gammastrike data, or are you just kind of using your own like experience and intuition and
I
not
mean,
really
I know
using the
where the
live?
levels in OI and where the hedging demand is on the chain because I have the OI from the prior night. So I have all the information from the prior close to make adjustments level by level, and I know like I can use that data to understand our trading ranges, and I can just use ES to convert those price points and you know choose my price targets off of where ES is, and then open or close um, like straddle legs in that range relative to the move in ES, which again is more reliable for pricing in the pre-market than SPX or well Globex.
Okay, so basically, the charts you post in the overnight's pickles picks from the last night's run of the data, you still use that up until market open. That's still probably more reliable. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I did not know that. I did not realize
Yeah.
that.
Because where that OI is, where that interest is, that still affects hedging demand, which then in turn affects futures because that's where the hedges are being traded. That's how I can use like SPX live intraday data to trade futures. Because the hedging demand for most SPX contracts is satisfied via ES. Because
Does the
ES is just delta. So if you need to pick up or dump delta exposure, futures contracts are the place to do that.
does the reverse ever make any sense? Like watching the options positioning to see where ES might go in the overnight session, or just total nonsense?
No.
It's more ES
I
driven.
mean, I would tell you right now we don't even have spot price overnight, so I would say that any of the pre-market data on live data is just fucking useless because there's no price tied to it, so it's just, especially if prices moved from the day before, it's just nonsense until we have
Yeah,
pricing it open.
it's just reverting to the last available price, which was closed the day before. So
So the steps for us to make that better are first going to be tracking spot in the overnight session, and then ensuring that we're getting all of the trades from Globex, and then probably we would have to do we would probably need the CME data in addition to the SPX data to create some sort of tool that could be used in conjunction with like SPX Globex. I would have to really, really think very, very hard on how to build something like that. And then that's like another thing where it's like, why would we want to sell retail art, like massive institutional arbitrage opportunities that they're not particularly capable of taking advantage of? Like, you're never gonna trade like fucking 5,000 contracts of SPX in the pre-market to capture some elusive IV spike because there's, a block order that's not getting a full fill and is overpriced relative to like spot IV.
well, not with that attitude.
I mean, it's just true, right? Like we're building tools for traders, but we're also trying to keep traders in mind. There's a lot of shit that we could build that you could just never trade. And sure, it has alpha, it has value, but like you're just not going to be able to capture any kind of advantage from it. And so it doesn't make sense for us to focus on building those tools. Like a really good example of this is like bought sold. And I get asked about this quite a lot, and I have it. We have it on our back end, like a few variations of looking at bought sold contracts and estimating that. And I don't think it has any fucking bearing on trading at all. Like it is over time, it has proved no more valuable to me than just looking at like the GXS page. And so if we just throw that in there, I think it just confuses people and it enforces bias, and it doesn't really like help you trade the market that's in front of you in any significant way. And I'm really truly starting to believe that it just doesn't matter that much, with the exception of maybe like some like rare instances where we get huge piles of directional options. But that's so rare, it might happen 1 out of 200 trading days. And so in the interest of providing our customers with as much value as possible, we definitely want to focus on building the tools that are going to help make them money easily, and not build esoteric volatility models for the pre-market that they really can't take advantage of.
Yep, we're a distillery.
Yeah, we're also like a quarter of the size of some of the teams competing against us, and we're
A
we're
quarter?
delivering as fast as we can.
I want to be clear. I don't mean that to sound like derisive or like you're poor, you can't do this. It's just, I don't think there's value in it.
I don't know. That's fine. I'm happy to hear that. I mean, to be honest, I think we just want to know puts for calls. Or
Yeah, yeah. Don't
at
worry.
least in the case of-
That tier will be $1,200 a month, and we will ensure that it maintains a 51% win ratio. It will
Yeah, if it pays
it will
for
be
itself.
two it will be 2 arrows.
Hey, I thought it was just gonna be a red light and a green light.
Yeah,
It's funny.
they're gonna be
we
arrows.
have recently found a small outfit of people who do have a bull bear indicator. It just goes bull bear, bull bear.
Just remember who coined the phrase.
But I don't know. I hope that helps. I know we got a bit off topic, but
No, that's fine. It does help because I think I wasn't looking at the data correctly
okay.
in the pre-market with trying to exit a straddle when there's big market moves. So
Yeah, my focus.
in
I
that
mean, if you think about like this morning's move is a perfect example, right? Like we tested 64.30 in the pre-market on ES, which was supportive on the SPX, like in the overnight, right? We looked at the overnight. There was like 25.30 support. We tested the 30 support. Volatility was definitely very high there. We bounced right off of it and opened at the bottom of the market maker's expected move, which should, with volatility very elevated, which should have, been a very clear indication that like, puts were going to get sold really heavily because, not only did Gamma run out really sharply to the downside of 25, but like also like that big vol spike with the mispriced options from the night before already kind of tells you that like it's very likely to bounce. How far that bounce is going to run is obviously dependent on how bad that data is, right? Like you can just get a relief rally and that can fade and then dump again as people reposition, but I don't really think we had the volumes to pull that off today. So the bulls just kind of won out on being more leveraged. Like through the beginning of the session, things were still really bearish on the chain. Like bulls were not selling puts close to the money, and then like as price just continued to stay stable, and bears didn't really leverage back up, bulls just kept pushing a little harder and a little harder and a little harder, and they just eventually gained the ground they needed. That charm floated us into end of day. But all of that information was there the night before. So and you should be doing that anyway. You should be looking at the overall chain when you're, especially around major strikes, when you're thinking about trading intraday levels, because I know we love to focus on the 0DT. That's where the contracts are cheap and fun and the returns are outsized, but there are other contracts on the chain. There's bigger positions on the chain, and those are important too.
Yeah, I kind of assumed the reason that you had separate chains for SPX and SPXW was because the OPEX chains just had more longer term positioning or more
They're
liquidity or
huge
something.
in comparison.
That's one of the reasons why we also why our default state is to split them up, because if you just combine them, you just see a couple of massive peaks at major strikes from the AM contracts on OPEXs, and it's just
Yeah,
it
most
just drowns
most most
everything else out.
most of the AM contract positioning is just at major strikes. So it'll be like the 00, the 25, the 50, the 75 levels. And then outside of those strikes, there's usually very little OI on the AM contract until like a couple weeks before OPEX. But the SPXW contract is everything around spot. So, the combining them is helpful in visualizing where gamma is the highest and where delta is, and important levels to break down from. But the majority of intraday price action is influenced by that 0 DTE gamma. We've all gone very quiet.
Penis.
Oh, I was just looking at SPY. It looks like they just opened up a bunch of new strikes above us, which is annoying.
Nice.
Yeah, they opened up $1 strikes up to $6.90.
So when you look at GXS, do you?
Oh, that's actually so. JFresh brings up
all
the up that
expiries?
reminds me.
I do.
Just so one thing I want to bring up is if you want to look at SPX consolidated, a fairly decent proxy is SPY.
Yeah, that's true. Also, SPY tends to be far more well behaved.
It's a good one, and it's just it's got a ton of expiries. It's got dailies. It's got monthlies. It's got quarterlies. Just it's a decent proxy. It's not the same thing, but it's okay.
SPY looks bearish.
Does SPY ever pop up in the G scan? Like I know VIX did a few times.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I didn't notice it from last
It would be
time.
really hard for it to show up in G-Scan.
It's pretty rare for the market to move like 5% in a day. I think it didn't. I think SPX popped up in G-Scan when we had that like 13% bounce.
CoreWeave is vicious right now.
He's just asking questions.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, I have an engineering degree and I understand all the calculus. I still can't, pick puts or calls. I can't trade well.
I find that people who understand the risks and the math better have a harder time. They have a harder time just making the dumb decision.
Yeah, I get that.
There's too much overthinking that goes on, and unfortunately, the pickle jars is incentivized distilling a bunch of people with higher education levels. But I don't know if you remember like some of the idiots from yesteryear. Like a lot of them were just better at trading because they were willing to just slap money on the risk and like and not really they didn't really put too much thought in it. Just looked like, oh man, this has gone up 3 days in a row. Let's bet on it going up for 4. And then, someone with more quantitative understanding is going to be like, oh wow, I don't want to bet on red 3 times in a row. I mean, even though technically each instance is the same probability, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. But no, I try not to overthink it too much these days, and maybe that's why I'm focusing more on the straddle. Because I mean, I've done it off and on and off the past couple of years, and I know you've talked about it's a way to consistently get income, and it seems like a good use case for all the tools in Gammastrike. It's like you're just looking for those overnight moves, and how do you find the expected range and supports and resistances. So it seems a bit easier in applying all the data in a tool. It's still not easy in practice.
Yes, well, straddles are awesome because you can just close them. Like you don't have to worry about picking directionality in the market.
Yeah, I will say though, like in the environment that we're in, as one of those people that overthinks everything, you are in an environment where everybody is shorting volatility, right? So when you take on the long volatility, you kind of have to think, okay, I'm working against what most people are doing. What is their weakness and what is their goal? Their goal is to get the end of day realized vol down and to get it down over a certain period of time. That gives them leeway to allow volatility to be a little bit higher throughout the day. As we saw today, right? The swings were quite dramatic, but we ended right near spot because that's what matters is getting that vol down end of day to end of day. And so if you're going to go long vol on a short time frame, you're going to have to be prepared to play the ranges throughout the intraday because that's where they're weakest and that's where they don't care as much.
Yeah,
And
because
so I feel like in these, I was just going to say in this environment, if you want to go long vol, short term long vol against a bunch of short vol sellers, you're going to have to be prepared to time your leg outs.
yeah, long and short options do not benefit from holding time in this particular environment, and there's actually like a really important reason that this happens, and like also just how the market decides to unanimously in a way to crush realized vol is that anything outside any move outside of the range of, you know, close over close is going to be met with short selling. And as that progresses throughout the day, you get a lot of gamma outside of spot, and you kind of build more and more short strangles out here. And then, you know, the value on those obviously declines to like nothing as you approach the end of the day. And so they either sell more of them or they start selling them closer to spot. And this is true on both sides. And so during the intraday session, they are weakest between those ranges. And this is kind of what JFresh is saying. So when they've sold the short puts here, then the short calls are weakest to that bounce up until, you know, you hit the peak of where they're selling that out of the money positioning, and then that positioning starts to come in, and then, you know, price moves down, and these ranges will narrow throughout the day because the concentration of that interest gets closer and closer together. And so by the time you get to close, you're trading in a very tight range between all these sold options.
But everybody's also got their finger on the trigger to get out if something goes wrong. And so then you get so yeah, you're basically waiting for as long as nothing unexpected happens, this is the path that everybody wants the day to take. And then every once in a while you get that unexpected move that blows out one of the sides and it just keeps going. Like I think that was CPI day where it just went up and it blew it out and just kept going.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, everyone's just like, why didn't it go down? CPI was bad or whatever, you know, it was mixed.
It was up, but yeah, it wasn't up enough.
Yeah, it was mixed. Yeah. And it's like, why didn't it go down? It's like, well, because that side of the short intraday vol trade blew out. So that's just the direction it went.
I think something a lot of you will find relatable is recently your options bought after like 1 o'clock perform really, really poorly.
Yeah.
And that's because of this. That's because those short strangles are just
going long options after 1 o'clock is the worst.
Murdering you, yeah.
Months ago, yeah.
But what you can do in the second half of the day as those short strangles get tighter and tighter is anything that breaks out of that range, whether you break up or you break down, that presents a very good opportunity for selling of options. because it is very likely, given the concentration of positioning, to snap right back to here.
Yep.
And these options are going to end up getting overpriced really quickly because the market maker wasn't pricing in that move. So you can get a lot more premium out of them. And also the chances of assignment or closing out of the money on those options is very, very low. And you'll see this sometimes. Like, I know you guys saw this the last couple of days. We just had like a candle, like towards the end of the day, we're kind of just chopping along, trading in like a fucking 50-cent range. And all of a sudden you'll get this candle that like drops and wicks really hard. These out of the money options on that candle spike so fucking hard that everybody sells them, and then we'll just like snap right back before the candle closes. And so the body of the candle will just look like this. And then the next candle's like here. So this is all algorithmic, but if you have a sell order on that out of the money option just standing, you can get fills on those, and those are obviously phenomenal value, because by the time the next candle opens, that contract's already up like or down 80% from where you sold it.
Yep.
So think about that. Think about time decay, and think about proximity to delta neutral, or our delta gamma flip. If we have a lot of delta beneath us into end of day, price is likely to continue up into end of day because of charm. If we have a lot of delta above us, price is likely to continue down into end of day because of charm. And so these are all, factors to consider when approaching not only the end of day, but, just intraday trading in general. And trying to use, that data that Gammastrike is giving you. And maybe I don't know, maybe like just like a little bit more of a dumbed down way of understanding participant reactions and participant positioning.
But anyway, yeah. So back to the straddle. That kind of got all this started. You're probably gonna have to leg out.
Yeah, and in these environments, it's generally, unless you get an overnight gap, you usually want to, like, if you open high, you want to close, and then see if you get some mean reversion on the profit taking it open, and then you probably close the put at a loss. But then
With a smaller loss than what you gained from the call.
yeah. So this is still a positive trade. And then like open low, almost always you want to close the put. And then, try to wait out the call. And this is just true for like low IV positive gamma environments. And this is also when straddles are best, because they're mispriced. The lower spot IV is, the more mispriced that straddle probably is, because that realized vol is higher in the early part of the day. And that's what that is designed to take advantage of. And also sometimes the market just goes up 2% overnight and you make a fuck ton of money, which is really cool.
Yeah, those ones are much easier to exit.
No shit.
That's what we need. We need those dumb exits.
But they don't happen that often right now because everybody's
No.
betting that it won't do that.
Yeah.
Question about Well, I mean, anyone else wants to raise their hand, go for it. I'm just trying to make up stuff.
Does
Are you
anybody?
silly? People don't raise their hands in here.
Yeah, nobody ever wants to ask questions, so we just end up answering a lot of questions nobody asks. Oh shit, we got someone.
Holy shit!
I'm gonna say
Willy
ask
Wolfie.
first.
What's
All right,
up?
thanks,
What's
guys.
up?
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Come in.
You,
Thanks for coming
you
up,
can
dude.
still ask. Yo.
How you doing?
So yeah, no, just great. My ginger buck soda is like bubbling right now. It's fun.
Hell yeah!
Are you guys talking about
Yeah,
ginger
let's see how
beer?
it goes.
Oh, Jay Fresh, me and
Hmm?
you can leave. They're gonna just talk about bread.
Bread.
You can't leave. If you
Brad.
leave, it ends.
Actually, that's true. Yeah, if I hit the little hang up button, it closes the whole thing.
Yeah, so the Dalton fermentation, you know.
Oh yeah.
So I do have a couple of questions just to entertain a bit. I think the main first one is that I sometimes see in some stocks an IB bump, if I might say it, across all strikes in a single expiration date. I don't know. I think I can see it right now on SPX. It's not that obvious, but probably on XPX is showing right now. What's
You're
it?
talking about
XPX?
these like.
Are you talking like the IV surface?
Yeah, on the surface.
Oh shit, we have secret stuff we haven't showed people.
Get it off.
Ah.
Hide it.
Didn't see
They don't
anything.
get to see that.
Wait, let me rewind.
Fuck off, Willie! Don't you dare rewind.
No rewinding.
Don't do it.
Everybody's rewinding now and clipping.
I think NVIDIA is the one that's showing a recent one. I was gonna say IoT, but IoT has a smaller amount of open interest.
So are you say like you see like a ridge almost on the IV surface?
Right, across a lot of strikes.
Yeah, that would seem to me like there's some sort of news coming up or some sort of an event coming up would be one reason I could think of why that would happen.
It's called earnings. It's coming up. Where
Earnings or like a
Makes-
corporate action or
earnings makes
something. Yeah.
sense, yeah. Well, when's NVIDIA? Oh yeah, it's 25th of August. Yeah, makes
Yeah,
sense.
so
then.
the 29th at the money is like 50% IV.
And what's the IoT's one? 905. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, usually when you see a
Nice.
huge spot like that on the term structure, it's earnings or some event that is gonna, be a big deal.
Oh, all right. And also on the surface, what is the green line supposed to be?
So
Kinda-
that's a great
assuming-
question. So the green line is my little baby that I added. It is the minimum point of the IV smile at every expiration, at least as far as what's on this. Sometimes it gets clipped.
It makes sense. Yeah.
That minimum point, based on, so I guess I don't want to get too nerdy, but if you take the second derivative of the call price with respect to strike, that will give you the probability density function of the expectations of those contracts for the spot price at expiration. And so that tends to correspond to the minimum point on IV. And so that green line is roughly the expectation of the options market for the future price of that stock.
Right. So it's like where everybody is tending to bet where the direction will be.
Yeah, roughly. You can see it by looking at like the center point of the smile as you move across the expirations.
And it's usually pretty prominent on like indices for a couple of reasons. One is because of positive interest rates. But also that indices go up over time. So that's one that you can really see it on. There are a lot of stocks where it doesn't just go up, and those are usually the interesting ones. Because everybody kind of just expects everything to drift up. So when something doesn't drift up, yeah, we like to look at GME. That one's been fun lately.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean it's
That's
a
a
pretty
sad-looking
flat
one.
curve, at least near the money, but yeah, some of these shit tickers not getting a lot of love lately. Ooh, what is UNH? I'm assuming that it's
Better
just like
after
rock.
Buffett bought it, right?
Yeah.
Kind of everywhere.
Waiting on the Medicaid cut decision still, though.
Hey Willie, I just posted a picture of my my starter in the chat.
Yeah, so speaking of like turning your brain
Oh.
off and doing stupid trades, the UNH trade probably has room to run.
Probably.
Yeah, no
Not
shit.
financial advice.
Yeah,
Not
down
funny.
down 50%, and Buffett just bought it. Like, and I think Burry bought it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh shit.
probably one of those like I
It's
don't. I
also-
mean, it's still a huge risk because they could be fucked from the Medicare fraud, but yeah, at least in the short term, seems like it'll probably do some things.
When was this the news of the
Today.
buy?
I
Was
think
it
today,
today?
yeah.
Okay.
Berkshire announced they bought like 1.6 billion of it.
Ooh. So I see,
They're
for
only up
example,
10% in after hours.
Yeah, see, that's like the thought. That's like overthinking it, right? It's like, oh, it's already gone up 10%. I missed it. It's like, no, you
Mhm.
didn't.
Well, it's 10%. The thing is like
barely
it's
has-
already dropped. When it's dropped 50%, in order to recover that price, it has to go up 100%.
I'm positive that 300 is going to be somewhat of a resistance on it. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's made a lot of its move already. It does have room to keep going up, though. It does.
Yeah, I see
A lot of people have been buying stupid out of the money options on UNH for a while now. So
the big spike on Delta and the near expirations is downwards, right? On the 300.
But if you look at where look at vol on UNH
Oh.
at the 300 test. That's fucking wild. It's like almost 70 for tomorrow's expiration. So, I mean, yeah.
Oh my god.
That's going to be a big incentive for call sellers.
Yeah, maybe see how it goes on Monday.
Huh. You expect anything tomorrow?
I mean,
Yeah, it could just keep running. It'll probably keep running in pre-market too. Where's the delta kind of die off?
300,
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
300. I guess it could get out to like 310 because delta's just pretty flat.
But look at the
OI because it's so far out of the money that yeah, okay, it still falls off around the same spot.
Yeah.
What can we say about the nearest
You
expirations?
got
At
the
least
310, 315, and start squeezing.
I'm doing.
True.
I think by 2027 Delta goes 2026 Delta goes positive on the expirations. It's not always like a peak there on 300. And I mean, I guess the effect will be on the nearest term, the delta be negative there.
Yeah,
Right?
so maybe
Yeah,
like,
you just
like
gotta
I
be
said,
careful.
maybe like 10-20 is possible, just dangerous.
You got to be careful because you're looking at it's so far out of the money. You kind of want to look at OI when you're that far out of the money. If you want to kind of try to anticipate what's going to happen when the price gets there, because the delta's going to go way up. If there's high OI there that's currently has really low delta because you're so far out of the money, when you get close there, delta's going to spike.
True.
So that's why when I'm looking at things close to the money, I look at delta and gamma and those things. And then when I look at things farther out of the money, I tend to gravitate towards the OI to kind of see.
Vega? Vana?
try to anticipate, what it might look like in the future.
I like to look at Vana on big overnight moves.
Yeah, Vana's going to be a good one because that one will tell you who is currently positioned for a big move right before it happened, right?
Yeah, that will kind of let you know how much delta that can change after that move overnight, right?
Mhm.
Or am I confusing things there?
No. All right.
Right.
So I got the right
Um,
idea.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
I don't know.
honestly, like I feel like a common trapping with a lot of this data, because it is a lot and it can be abstract seeming, is to overthink it a lot. Trust in the docs. It really,
Sure,
a
it's-
lot of this isn't as complex as it may seem on the surface once you understand the intuition.
But once you do,
Yeah,
it'll feel good on the whole.
It's like baking a loaf of bread. The first time you do it, it feels really complicated because you're like, oh, I got to do all these steps, but then you remember it and then it's easy.
yeah, no, like right now I know how to treat bread pretty nicely, and last time I had a bubble butt, and now I understand. Like I don't even have to measure anything. I know how things will do.
Exactly.
And I'm guessing it will be the same, yeah. And I actually haven't read the docs now with the new updates. I just noticed they changed a lot, so I'm gonna have to reread them, especially the graphs that are dynamically changing on whether what's changing, like volatility or data, which is very nice. Gives a lot of insights.
Thank you, JFresh.
Yay!
I'm trying. At some point, I need to start doing a version control so people know when it changed and what changed. But I'm but one man.
We'll get you in a repo for one markdown file. We got you.
That's the usual thing, yeah. Docs by code is we use it in our company right now, and it's helpful, very helpful.
I require a README file for every single directory for my company right now.
Ain't that a pain?
It's, you know what? The READMEs are short. They're like maybe 80 lines at most.
That's good enough. As long as like the code itself has a bit of documentation, at least some
And then,
comments to
yeah,
understand.
it just comes down to, like, if you got some functions stored away or some objects, just define them here, and then you're good.
Well, lucky you have
And it makes
documentation.
the GitHub reading easier.
Yeah,
All right.
minimum is to have.
Well, I hope that
I think I have
helped.
another question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it definitely.
Ask
Well, I
away,
have a
dude.
couple of one. Yeah, I have some. I still haven't gotten big and neutral, sadly. Like maybe at a specific ticket. I don't know,
Did you
maybe
watch the video I made about it?
long ago.
Oh no.
I might have. Maybe I forgot about it already. But like, I don't know. Say which. Well, the first thing is which ticker will be more effective to see the effect of big and neutral. I guess NVIDIA on a recent term.
Equities aren't
Well,
great
it's
for looking at Vega neutral generally, because usually
Yeah,
Usually
it's an
Vega
index
neutrals-
thing mostly.
yeah. Not a lot of Vega
Or-
on equities in general.
It comes down to moneyiness, right? Like on equities, generally people have these crazy big long positions, and so what they're doing is they're trying not to get hosed on them, so they're selling the tails. And then on indexes, what they're doing is they're harvesting yield, so they're squeezing in closer, so you have a lot more contract value at risk there.
Because
Which
it's
Vega,
generally lower IB, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it's less volatile than an individual equity is. So Vega is in short, Vega is essentially the exposure of the market maker to contract value.
Hmm.
So when if you try to frame it like that, it would make sense why an equity would have a Vega neutral that is like super far away from spot, because most of the participants aren't trying to get called away on their position, or hosed on some sort of a short position. So they'll tend to go towards those tails, whereas with indexes, they'll be more inclined to try to push towards that steep part of the bell curve when it comes to the like performance of a stock.
So in a way, it's more normal to see Vega neutral or spot under Vega neutral in, say, SPX than in any other equity will be like above it? Or is this
Yeah.
just more on distance from the spot to
Yeah.
Vega neutral?
Yeah, it's very I'd say it's that's the characteristic we have seen. If there's a stock that's not volatile and it's just really boring, Vega neutral is going to be a lot closer to spot. And I'm just guessing right now, but I'm going to go to Apple really quick. Let's see where Vega neutral is. Vega neutral is a lot closer to spot on Apple than it is. I don't know. I'm just going to look at like NVIDIA. Yeah, Vega neutral is a
NVIDIA is
mile away from
very
spot
far
on
away.
NVIDIA.
Yeah.
Right. So it gives you an idea of kind of what I'm talking about. Apple, I joke and I call it I'm only half joking, but I call it the treasury market of the options market, right? It's the most boring options market you've ever seen, and that's what makes it beautiful. And you can see the Vega neutral is very close to spot most of the time because of that. So it comes down to participants and the volatility of the stock and the very fact that individual equities are by nature more volatile than an index.
That's a whole new perspective, actually. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's so that comes down to the whole like fundamentals of investing, right? The whole idea of why would you want to buy an index fund versus a single stock? And this is why, right? It's just that, but it's actually just showing up in the data because it's true. Indexes, a diversified portfolio will always have less volatility than a single stock.
Right. And it's because always in equity something is really hard, unless you're, I guess, football, where you have a range of strikes. It's hard to work on selling ball because it doesn't drop that much at points, or maybe it's just you gotta be really patient.
I mean, a lot of that's priced in the options market too. So yeah, like indexes are generally less volatile, which means that in order to harvest the same level of yield as, say, a single stock that's like, way out of the money, you have to get closer to the money on an index. And as such, Vega neutral as a proxy for exposure to contract value will gravitate closer to spot on indexes. Yeah, Vega is a strange thing, but ultimately it does serve as a proxy for contract value. JFresh brought that up, and I was like, well, yeah, that makes total sense, because it is, the change in contract value with respect to a change in IV. So it's, it makes total sense. And also when you zoom out and just think about, yeah, if you throw a bunch of things together and create a bell curve out of it, you'll end up with a very well-defined distribution, versus if you have one value bouncing around all over the place, now you have a very ill-defined distribution. So I'm getting in the weeds, and I'm sorry for that, but ultimately it just comes down to index versus single stock.
Yeah, this is the backbone.
That's
this is the backbone of dispersion.
Yeah, for sure. And if you look at like SPY, right, things like that, you would think that's a single stock, but because it represents an index, you see the Vega neutral acts just like it does on an index. So it's not like a European options thing or something like that. It just has to do with how volatile a stock is expected to be.
Yeah, like here they
Or
don't
a
care
ticker.
about volatility much because they know it's going to be low, so they're not afraid
Yeah,
of
well,
it.
it's not that they don't. It's not that it's that historically speaking, over such a crazy amount of time, it has been low.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
so it is proven, and because of what it represents, right? Because it represents this diversified portfolio. I mean, we could argue about how diversified it is nowadays, but generally speaking, it's a diversified portfolio, which is going to create, because it is random walks we're talking about. Stocks are just doing random stuff. If you take enough random things and throw them together, you end up with ultimately a very stable system. Kind of like I don't know if you ever took statistical mechanics, but it's a very roughly the same sort of idea that the more things you cram into a box, the more you end up with very well-defined things.
Not statistical mechanics, but it had statistics.
If you throw enough cats in a room, you just end up with a floor of fur, right? If you have one cat in a room, you don't know where the cat's going to be at any time, or if you're going to see a cat in any particular point. If you have enough cats in there, now you know this is the floor. Wherever you look, there's going to be a cat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is happening right now?
I have no
I'm trying to
idea. They're
define
just like
You
Vegas.
said
mentally
cats.
masturbating each other, I think. Or Dork's excited about.
Well,
Cats
so
everywhere?
JFresh, if you want a shot at answering the question, it really comes down to why is Vega neutral so far away from spot for individual stocks, whereas on indexes and on index funds, Vega neutral tends to be much closer to spot.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But-
I went into a big whole thing about diversified portfolios and how the more diversified your portfolio is, the less volatile it is. And that's why, because when you short volatility on a single stock, because volatility is so high, you get an expected yield further out on the tail versus on an index, because it's so much less volatile. You have to get much closer to the center of the distribution in order to get the same sort of returns.
Yeah.
I guess since zero DTs do a lot of play on Vega neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zero DTs are their own whole beast, though. Zero DTs are wild. Ultimately, though, they do kind of follow similar principles in that the thing is with zero DTs is the market is gaming the statistical collapse of price action as the day progresses, because those options are expiring that day. So you get into these weird sort of other things that are happening behind the scenes, like a $10 out of the money call is going to be worth a lot more at noon than it is at, say, 2:30 p.m. because the likelihood of going up $10, right? At noon, it can go up way more than $10, right, over the course of a couple hours. But at 2:30, right, you don't have much time left. If this thing is going to close like more than $10 up from that price, the odds of that go way, way down. And that the evolution of those odds is what people are playing rather than the odds themselves.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
All right, guys. I might have to call it quits. It's
Yeah,
late.
I'm getting burnout.
All right.
I'm just getting
No, yeah.
started on talking about distributions,
Yeah,
bro.
I
Come
know.
on.
Mostly, I just want to end this to shut Dork the fuck up.
You heard my voice too much? God
No, I
damn
mean
it.
these are all good
The
questions.
soothing boys.
Happy to continue it at a later time.
All right.
Yeah, no, they're
Yeah.
great. Keep your questions written down, Willie. Come back up next week.
Yeah, come back.
Yeah, I don't want to give
Yeah.
you the impression that I don't appreciate your questions, because I do.
I also
I'm
in
just putting him
the
to
in the
sleep.
chat I shared with you the Vega neutral video I made.
Mhm.
That kind of
Yeah, I got it.
discusses some of the effects of price action above and below Vega neutral and how that affects the market makers. Not their hedge, interestingly, but their profit and loss. Which is more of a factor with VN, whereas like GM, GN, DN, those affect their dynamic hedging.
True.
I'm just eyeballing non-prod to your screen right now, Gherk, and it's beautiful. They're in such agreement. I'm very happy.
This is non-prod.
Can't
Oh
do
wait,
it.
no, it's not. This is a.
It's prod.
Yeah, this is
It's prod,
prod.
dude. Yeah, it's so cool. I love it. Anyways, yeah,
Great job
let's
on that.
yeah, let's call it. Recharge the batteries. Yeah, I want people to definitely ask more questions. Willie, I'm so happy to see you up here because you and I chat about bread all the time. I'm happy to be able to contribute however I can.
Bluetooth Brothers? Yeah, it's fine. No, thank you guys so much for the tools and everything. It's been amazing and slowly understanding and keeping it up even though somebody tends to burn out also and then come back and try to have an understanding. It's amazing. You guys are doing it. Keep it
Oh,
going.
yeah.
Thanks, man. Thanks
Thank
for the
you.
kind words.
Appreciate it.
Why is there a picture of Gherkin eating pizza?
What?
I want pizza.
And why don't I have this picture saved to my
That
desktop?
was probably just me eating pizza. No, Dave, not tonight. We're done. Baby farms.
Baby
farms?
farms.
We'll talk to you next week, Willie.
Yep. See you guys.
Later. Also,
Thank
other
you.
Willie. I was talking to
Yeah.
other Willie. I wasn't just trying to like kick you
Oh.
off.
We got the Willies here.
We got two
Oh, no.
Willies.
This is my desktop background, by the way.
How
Two
dare
Willies,
you
one
call it
scream.
New Haven style? That's it. This is over. Good night.